Viewer content warning. The information in this video contains topics such as mental, physical, and sexual abuses. Therefore, viewer discretion is advised.
First of all, my name is Lisa Haynes, and I'd just like to say thank you for inviting me to your group. I am a survivor of child abuse. This is the very first time I've ever spoken in public. I think the most important message I have to everybody here is just being able to get up and speak, because I'm able to get up and speak and post it out there. Other people who have been in my shoes will be able to get up and speak. And that's the thing I've noticed when I talked to Tony about, was when I talk to people about this, they will confide in me, and it's just like it just opens this door that has been shut for so long. I'm 53 years old, first of all, and I'm from Racine. We had Elvis in our house. He held us in our house for 11 months. My mother broke free, and from that point, she didn't want her children, so we came towards the state. I went into foster homes, and then finally into a group home. I would run away. I was a lost person. And I went into a group home in Stoughton, Wisconsin, and I would run away to my dad. And my dad had finally gotten out of prison for keeping us out of school, but he had changed. And what he did was, through that summer, he gave me alcohol and drugs, and he was doing sexual acts on me while he had a friend of his over. It was completely devastating. From that point on, what happened was it became volatile. I ended up getting into drugs and doing things that you just could not even imagine when meet me, did not even think I was capable of. But I was, because I wanted to die. I was just sick inside. I hated myself, and I hated everybody around me. So the girls home actually got rid of me. They couldn't deal with me anymore. I became so violent. When I came here to Racine, and I was in a foster, I was going to Walden 3. So I was at Walden 3, and one afternoon while I was sitting there, I had a coffee cup in my hand, because I love coffee, and I had a book, and I sat down on a bench for the bus, and this young man came by, and he sat opposite me on a bench. We were talking, and then all of a sudden, the conversation got to be very vulgar. It was shock, but it was anger. So I told him to go away from me. And he did. He walked. He was a very tall young man. He was not this tall. His shoulders were about that wide. And he was like a linebacker. And he walked away. So I got up, and I looked on the street to see if the bus was coming. And he came full force behind me, grabbed me by my chest, and threw me down on the ground. I hit my chin, and I broke my coffee cup. And I remember thinking, who the heck does he think he is? He just broke my coffee cup. I wasn't even, but that is how trauma plays in your mind. You're almost frozen like a deer. You're not even realizing what is going on during the time of trauma. But I became angry. So what I did was I turned around underneath him, and I started kneeing him, and I was banging him in the head, and I was screaming, get off of me. And he finally did. Now this is at like 3:30 in the afternoon. Right by Walden. That's when the trauma started to take a hold. I remember trying to push myself off the ground, and I could barely do it. And I was shaking so hard, I think I shook the whole night. I wanted to convey that trauma comes in all kinds of forms. You know, somebody said today, I come from a healthy family. That is probably true. But there's all different types. We face trauma every day when we watch television, when we're watching the news, and there's murders, and there's killings, and there's all this violence. We're facing trauma all the time. But what happened with me is I didn't have any guidance to understand what trauma really is and how it affects you. How trauma affects, at least me, my personal experience, it's like an atomic bomb. If you think about an atomic bomb, and what happens is, think of Hiroshima and how it came down, and these people were completely unaware, and then all of a sudden there's this 0 point where it's shocking. And these shock waves can take over your life, and that's what happened to me. I continued on a path of just not knowing who I was and not having any sense of self, no self-esteem. And the images that I had in my mind were so dark because of my mother and her harassing words and the brutality. It was like there was not one moment in my life where I felt at peace. There was no joy, and you would never see it on the inside. I was always dying. There was always reminders, and there are, when you're a victim of any kind of incest or sexual assault, or even mental or physical, there's always reminders. I watch a movie, Father Knows Best, and I break down crying. I can't watch it. It's too much for me. It's too painful. It hurts. It hurts so bad. You go through phases. The person who's been assaulted will even deny that they've been assaulted. But it didn't happen. Or it's no big deal. It's no big deal. You know, it happens all the time. They will give excuses for the violator, the violator that has violated them, especially when it's an incestuous act. I always blame myself. For years, that's what I did. I blamed myself. But then I had a turning point. I had to accept the responsibility that what my parents did, yes, I blame them for it. But there comes a point where I have to start taking ownership of my life and how I conduct myself. I started going to counseling. I had a great behaviorist who had me making journals. My journal took me 3.5 years. 3.5 years. And the repressed memories that would come out were enormous. When you go through a traumatic act, it's like you have a timeline here. And here you're a baby and you grow. And as there's a traumatic act that happens, it literally gets pulled out of this timeline. And it goes into a closet in your brain. And your brain says, I will bring this out when I am able. I would act upon things that I didn't even mentally, consciously remember, but they were there. And not only would I would act the age that they happened. So if something was going on and there was a repressed memory from my mother, I would literally turn into a 5-year-old and have a tantrum. And my behavior, it was so questionable, but I couldn't see it. So journaling helped me to see these patterns, and slowly, I started to see them. It took a long time. I'm 53 now. It's taken me 20 years at least just to get to this point. I think that I was a survivor all that time. You know, I was treading water. But what brought me to this precipice where I'm at right now is when I finally found my sense of self. And I think that's the most important message I have. I finally realized that the emotions that I have are my tuning fork for my sense of self. The part of me that is divine. And you can take that as spiritual, you can take it however you want, but I found it. And the way I found it was when I was watching one of those Father Knows Best movies. I turned it off, and I went in my room, and I bawled my eyes. And I bawled, and I cried, and I'm angry, and I'm thinking, when am I ever going to stop feeling this sickness? I mean, because it would bring these memories of what happened with my dad. I mean, I cannot imagine. I was drugged up, having things done to me. It's horrific. So I would push that back. But finally, after I stopped crying, after about 4 hours, I don't know, the voice in my soul said, Lisa, the reason you're sick is because you deserve that. Just that small of a little voice came through. I was sick. And I never heard it before. So that night I fell asleep, and the next day I got up and did dishes. And there it was again. It's very profound, especially for someone who's lost their self-esteem or who doesn't have it. I don't even know how to begin to explain a self-esteem. So that's where I started to finally find my sense of self. And so now what I do is, instead of trying to pull from outside sources, I pull from inside and I say, what is going on? Why am I feeling like I'm feeling? What is it that I'm feeling? Why am I feeling like this? And every single time, it's because I have love for myself. And that is a very profound and very unique experience for someone who has been, especially in an instance of continual child abuse. I suffer from a condition called complex PTSD, and most of it is becoming aware of the internal things and mechanisms that are going on. Here's a very good analogy of this. I was terrified to talk to people. I was terrified to talk to people. Next to somebody, and I would just want to run, and I didn't know why. I didn't understand it. My mother was tall. My mother was very, very tall, and intimidating, and scary. But once I started journaling, and I started looking at myself, and I started doing self-observation, that's when I started to put that together. From there, I did mind talk. I talked to myself. This person is not my mother. My mother was wrong about a lot of things. I mean, my mother told me I was ugly, I didn't belong here, she didn't want me. She did some very wretched things. So working in the internal, it's not even external. The external is wonderful because then the connection is made. And I truly believe we're all divine spirits within, because when I start to talk to somebody about this, most importantly, when I talk to survivors, they will immediately tell me their story. It's wonderful. I have a page called The Dynamics of Abuse. This is perspective of a survivor. I had 2 alcoholic parents, and the thing is that I studied on them, and they suffered a lot of trauma in their youth. There's a point where you have to stop blaming, and you have to start pulling that acceptance. Without self-observation, without writing a journal, without realizing that you have to be responsible for your own actions, without that, you're not going to get very far. What happens is, when I start to feel those feelings, and I will always feel sick about what happened, but then it switches gear, and that little voice tells me, well, you're loved. You are a survivor. Every time you speak about it, it starts to pull away that pain, and it starts to make you feel better. And you start to also realize that there's so many people out there. When you start to connect with these people, you start to feel this connection. Part of the finding myself was writing this story. It's called Layers. And Layers is actually a story about 2 people that are trying to overcome the trauma of their life, of their youth. It has a very unique, very wonderful ending. And once you read it, you'll know. I had to write it that way. It's a very quick read. It's very tough to talk about yourself. So I put myself in the 3rd person. To me, the most important thing is awareness, education, precautions, self-observation, and sense of self. Taking precautions. Now, after all that's happened, I watch. If I would have watched for that young man, I would have known. I didn't watch. I wasn't paying attention. So now I watch. And I think that's something that we have to share with our families and our children and everyone that we possibly can. Talk to your children. Bring this up at dinner. I'm talking to a gal, and she's like, well, how do I pose this to my kids? I said, tell them about me. Just tell them about me and let the subject open up and let them talk. You don't have to tell them every detail. They're young. But let them know. That's my story. Thank you so much for listening.
Thanks for letting us be your first public speaking.
Yeah.
When you're journaling, what is your focus? Is it your feelings that you're feeling at the moment, or?
Okay, I did mine on the computer. You can do, if you're going to handwrite it, get a binder, get sheets of paper, write the age, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year.
So chronological thing.
And chronological, and that's how I did it. And there were times where I remember I was sitting on the couch and I was typing something, and something came that was just as traumatic. Sisters had locked me in a bedroom that my great-grandmother had died in. And I literally forgot. It was out of my mind. But it just instantly zapped into my head. And I felt the pain, and I felt the fear. It was like I was reliving the moment. It does work. Take your time. What will happen is you will feel those emotions. Give yourself license to feel those emotions. A lot of people think, I'm not deserving, especially someone in my situation, I think, I'm not deserving of even having emotions. Honest. That's how I feel. I don't even deserve to have this emotion. I don't even deserve to be alive. I deserve to be kicked around, and that's it. So it took me so long because mine is huge. And so I put the date, age, and then I started typing. If it got to be too much, so with the journaling and the self-observation and counseling is really important because what I would do is I'd take this information and I'd go back to my counselor. He helped me see my behavior and how these things like following, how that was triggering me. I literally quit a job if I got around from that I would become so filled with anxiety. So yeah, the journal helped me identify that.
Father's Know Is Best, I don't really remember that well, but it seems to me that was a pretty normal, upbeat family. Is that why it was bad for you? Because it was normal and yours wasn't? Yeah. I was wondering that too.
Yeah. It's a reminder of the life that you didn't get.
Yes.
On how trauma works, like an atomic bomb. It could be years and all of a sudden.
Shockwave.
Yeah. am I saying that you don't feel those shockwaves? Yes, I will always feel those shockwaves, but now I'm more conscious of them, I'm more aware of them, and I can ride them over. So thank you again.